Morning, Mr. Thomas.
Good morning.
Mr. Thomas, you're charged with two cases. You're charged with you're charged with evading arrest, assault bodily injury, and then you also have a felony assault of a public servant. On our case, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. Okay.
An officer was dispatched to Klein Collins High School, a public school in Harris County, Texas, for an assault on a student and a public servant. The defendant trespassed and assaulted a male minor, 15 years old, as well as assistant principal Tyler Smith by punching them multiple times around the body and head area while they were on the ground, causing pain. Both complaining witnesses claimed injuries to their head, back, shoulder, and wrist areas. While officer attempted to detain the defendant, he evaded on foot. Officer told the defendant to stop multiple times while in full police uniform. The defendant evaded for approximately 0.4 miles and was eventually caught and arrested by another officer outside the school building while running towards a wooded area.
That's the officer that he allegedly assaulted?
No, he didn't assault the officer. He assaulted the assistant principal.
Was that was the public servant?
Correct, Judge. I think the school video is going to show a little bit different, but that's okay. He's doing felony court today, and when he got his PIA rollover, they gave him the wrong information at the jail because it had been reset from 9/3 on the felony PIA rollover to 9/6, which was the same date your original court date here was. So we are here. I'm asking that the court reinstate the bond with whatever bond conditions the court deems appropriate, and I have to send him up to felony court, but I told felony court we're coming to you first.
Got it. What conditions have they put on it now, Justin?
He has bond conditions up there, Judge. No contact, I think, with the school and the yes, sir. No contact with the school. I have all the bond conditions up.
I see it.
No contact with the complainant. So do you want to just follow the exclusions? Or do you want to follow the?
Yeah, I'm going to mirror the conditions upstairs. So, Mr. Thomas, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to test you. If I find that you're using any kind of alcohol or dope, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR months. Do you understand? You're not to be in possession of any weapons, not to go back to the school, not to have contact with any of the complaining witness in this case. I'm going to protect my county, Mr. Thomas, and I'm going to do it at all costs. And I don't care if you're kicking and screaming and crying that you got to go to jail, but that's what I'm going to do. You've got a great lawyer. It's your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Kiter, and he'll tell you when you have to come back to court. But if he tells me that you're ducking and dodging, that's it. You're not getting any more PR bonds from us. You understand? Do you already have a future date for the felony case, Justin?
Your Honor, no, not yet. I promised them we're going up to felony.
So I'll have him sign conditions now. We'll send him up. And then if you want to email Victoria later, whatever date you get over there, we'll mirror the date.
Very good. Thank you, Judge. That'll save us a
Okay,
trip.
man. Okay. We'll have you sign a reset. You'll get with pre-chop your bond conditions, and then you got to go upstairs.
You're reinstating
Go to
now?
185.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to reinstate your bond now. This is the only time it's going to happen. Meaning that I issued a warrant for your arrest because you failed to appear. So if you take off again, I will issue another warrant, and I'm not going to give you another free bond. I'm going to reinstate the bond now, but this is the only time it's going to happen. Do you understand? What do you do with yourself these days?
I go to work and I help my mom around the house. She has back problems, back surgery. So she can't.
Where do you work?
I'm a chef at Russo's Italian, New York Pizza, New York Russo's Pizza.
Okay. Are you working there full time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's another condition. When people have too much time on their hands, they become self-destructive. So you need to do something full time, either work or get into school. No part-time stuff. You've got to work full time or get into school full time. You understand?
And then both of them.
Good. All right. Okay. That way. Hi, Ann. Happy Friday.
Yes, it is. It's a busy Friday.
Right.
I'm approaching on London Collins. She's on the docket today on the bond docket. As part of her bond conditions, you ordered her to find full-time work. She is on Social Security disability because she can't work.
Why?
She's got intellectual and learning disabilities. I'm getting documentation from mom. Mom is here, so I don't know if you want.
Okay, yeah, bring mom,
Okay.
mom come up. Yeah.
And this is Miss Collins and mom.
Hi, Ms. Collins. Thank you. Mom. So you're okay. Thank you so much for coming. Do you know what happened?
Yeah,
Do you want to hear it? What happened?
Well, I believe she was also on the
I was on
FaceTime when the incident.
Incident.
Okay, so, I mean, if you want to go through it, we
No,
can.
no, I just wanted to know whether you knew about what happened or not, so you know.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I'm the firm believer that if you have too much time on your hands, you become self-destructive. You know, in this life, your brain craves activity. You need something to do, whether it's, you know, working, schooling, something, you know, a hobby. And it scares me that she's sitting at home doing nothing all day. I don't know. You know her obviously better than I do. Is she able to work?
To be honest with you,
Even a part-time job?
she did have one, at Complex, being a host. She was only working there like on Saturday and Sunday.
That's great.
It was a situation that happened where she's very emotional. And a customer hollered at her and she was crying. So she called me to calm her down and her manager didn't like it. And so,
Hence it spiraled out of control.
right, so they sent her home. And I calmed her down and everything, and I told her it's okay. You know, don't take it personally. You know, it's dealing with customers.
And Miss Collins, she's right. You know, the problem is that when what was it she was doing?
She was hosting for parties, like children's parties. Funplex, I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's like it has like a arcade and things like that, rides for children.
You know, Miss Collins, when you work in this type of industry, like either the restaurant industry or the type of work where you have to make people happy, it's really tough because, you know, as my marketing professor once told me, you can't be all things to all people. It's impossible to make everyone happy. You know, me here in this job that I have now, you know how many people I make upset? I've got so many people breathing down my right neck at this very moment because they're unhappy with me, right? And, you know, but we still try to do the best job we can, right? So that industry is really tough because even no matter how hard you try to make someone happy, someone's still going to be unhappy. And the idea is that when you face that person, you got to break away. And even if it's for, you know, a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you just go away, go to the bathroom and you know, be by yourself. You know, next time if this would ever happen, ask to go to the bathroom. No one's going to follow you in the bathroom. And that's the perfect time to call mom. And then perhaps at that time she can, you know, but the problem is she going to stay at home do nothing all the time?
No, I try to help her find things that she's interested in. Like all her life, I put her in, even in school, different programs, different activities, band,
Great.
karate,
Well, then
orchestra.
I'll leave it with you. You know, I don't know all the circumstances of everybody that comes down here. That's why when I have like a parent or a loved one come up, and I love to talk to them so that they can tell me, give me insight of how this person is, what the quirks are, what they're doing, and because obviously you know better than I do. So, I mean, is she living with you now? Okay, so I'll leave her in your care then. If you don't think that, I'll take it off.
Okay.
So that she doesn't have to, we won't make it a condition of her bond.
I want her to do things. I'm trying to find her things that she enjoys so she can make a career out of it and at least do something with her time.
Ms. Collins, you need to understand that while she is absolutely fantastic and fabulous, she's not going to be here forever. She's, you're going to get older. Things in life don't get easier. They get so much more difficult. And what you do now, you're setting yourself up for the next 40 to 50 years of your life. And if you don't set yourself some kind of career, something to do, when she passes on, you're going to have nothing. She gets disability now? How much?
They go by my income coverage. Just actually started it back up again, so it's like 100, but it goes by my.
If you don't have income, does she get more?
Correct.
Okay, so perhaps it's a lot, I don't know, but is it enough to survive? Is it going to be enough to survive for the rest of your life? That's what you got to think about. Now is the best time for you to get a career, learn a hobby, learn a trade, and go with it. And perhaps,
She likes to braid hair.
great.
And we went to go do that, and then she was like, we did all the steps, and she was like, well, I don't think I'm gonna do that now.
Actually, we have a career fair that's coming in about a month. I can give you a flyer, and we have all kinds of different jobs, businesses that are going to be there. I'm going to be there too. I'm happy to meet you there, and we'll see if they have something that's to her liking. And if not, she's not obligated, but
She loves animals. That's another passion of hers. She
That's great.
loves animals.
hey, look, you don't even have to please animals.
She loves them.
Well,
Like,
if you feed them,
Great.
you're happy.
We got to, yeah, that's right.
she
Feed 'em.
loves them. Like, her and animals, they just come to her. She loves animals.
What about that? Work at a vet's office. You thought about that?
She's scared of like blood and stuff like that.
You're going to see it. That's right.
Yeah,
Well,
so she's like, I don't want to.
I'll leave it to you. We're having a job and career fair at the beginning of November. Stop by. You have nothing to lose, just time, And we have a bunch of other judges that are going to be there to help other find jobs and other kinds of things. Okay, well, I'll leave it to you. All right. Okay,
But for now, you're okay with not having.
Yeah.
Okay,
absolutely. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Good luck, Ms. Collins.
can we be excused? Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Counselor.
Yes. Yeah, keep that. Shreya, on Miles, we're still doing no contact, right?
I swear, do you want this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
we sign it.
Well, we're taking off the residential restriction, but we're leaving in the no contact order because
On the MOA?
on the MOA,
I thought it was no threatening with harassment on a MOA.
I don't know what she wants. Like, they haven't ripped it
Oh, that's
until,
okay. If you
until I
want
know,
to add, okay, that's fine.
right. If at a later date, you tell me that they've ripped it and she's okay with having contact, then I'm
with no
okay.
contact. I just don't know what.
Right, and she's in California. anyway,
Yes.
so.
So it's the address, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Josh, who do we have?
Salgado. We're doing a plea.
Good morning, Mr. Salgado. Mr. Salguero, you're charged with burglary of a motor vehicle. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. What have you guys worked out?
It's a time served. He was sentenced to 2 TDC on his felony revocation. Etc.
Had a lot of trouble getting a hold of you, Mr. Salguero. You pick up cases and you never come to court. I had one bond at 15,005 because you repeatedly failed to show up. The only advice I'm going to give you now is you're headed to prison. From now on, You are nearly what's called a true habitual. When you have 2 pen trips, you're labeled a true habitual. Is this 1 or 2 for you? Pen trips.
First time, sir.
Okay. From now on, anytime you pick up a serious felony, you're looking at a minimum of 15 years to life. So I would be very careful what you do, because like I said, when you're labeled a true habitual, you're looking at a minimum of 25 years to life when you pick up a serious felony. So when you get out of prison, wash that jail funk off and be good. It's not hard. Is it the DWI? Is that what he's going to prison for? Such a stupid crime. All you have to do is push a button, $20, anywhere you want to go. And now, just keep that in mind next time, you know? You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, you can never change this. Is this what you want to do? How do you plead to the offense? Are guilty or not guilty? One more thing I'm going to advise you on. You live in Texas. People like their guns and they like their cars. And I cannot tell you how many times we've had someone who's had this same charge where they've gotten shot. Careful. Next time, you may very well end up with a hole in your stomach. Good luck. Okay.
We also had Mr. Bale online.
Are we going to do that,
Thank you
please?
so much. Can you give me 1 second so we can knock out Mr. Roach real quick and then you do that?
Yeah, sorry, Josh, let me just do this real quick. Hi, Mr. Roach, how are you? Good, thanks. So your lawyer, much to my reluctance, has convinced me to set your bond at $500. And I'm doing it for one reason only, because I want you to get the help that you need. And so I'm going to put a monitor on your ankle so I know where you are. And we're wanting you to go to the Gulf Coast Center to get that help. If you fail to do it, I'm making it a condition of your bond. So if you don't go and you just blow us off and you take off, I'm going to revoke the bond and I'm not going to play this game with you again. This is not going to happen. This is so that you get the help that you need. Do you understand? I'm not going to warn you again and I'm not going to play this game again. Okay, great.
Thank you.
Done. Okay,
Thank you so much.
Mr. Roach, make us proud, man. Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure.
501. Say it again. Yeah. I'm going to test you 40 days from today. If you test positive for marijuana again, I'm going to revoke your bond and put you in jail. If you test positive for alcohol again, because I'm going to randomly test you, likewise, you will go to jail. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm ordering you to work full-time or get into school full-time as well. No contact with the complaining witness in this case. Do you understand? And I'm telling you now, it's very possible that they indict this as a third-degree felony. And if you have any prior pen trips, you could be looking at a serious 15 to 25 to life case. But like I told you before, I'm going to do everything in my power to protect the public at all costs. Do you understand? THA? And then he comes back and we test him in 40 days. Do you have a Texas driver license?
It's expired, but
And you are not allowed to drive. And I'm making it a condition of your bond that you're not to drive. And you will be signing an affidavit with me. You just had a tampering with a government record dismissed 3 months ago. So I'm ordering you not to drive as well, unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance. And I'm going to have you sign an affidavit with me today, promising me that you're not going to drive, Mr. Johnson. Sorry?
I got a question. I got a question.
Shoot.
You tell me like this case has nothing to do with drugs or like driving. I didn't get in trouble for no drugs. I have never got trouble for drugs or drinking or anything in that matter. I never in life got in trouble for it.
I don't want you using while you're on bond for this case, and I don't want you using and being in a state that could potentially lead to other charges because you're in a state that you shouldn't be. So if you have problems with drugs or alcohol, you better address it, Mr. Johnson, because if you don't, I'm going to do it for you.
I'm not saying I have a problem. I'm just trying to see, like, this case happened, I think they said in, what?
When was it charged?
Yes, ma'am.
I get it, but Mr.
April 17th.
Listen, hold on, Mr.
Have-
Johnson.
Since, like, with no alcohol or no marijuana, nothing.
Resisting arrest, assault of a family member, possession of a dangerous drug, possession of marijuana, unlawful restraint, theft, possession of a controlled substance, out-of-state fugitive case, harassment, out-of-state fugitive case where you had a desertion from LA County where we gave you a $60,000 bond, tampering with the government record, and now another. I'm not going to argue with you. I want to do everything in my power to keep the county safe. And if you're clean, I'm not going to, this is what's going to happen. I don't want you using alcohol. I don't want you using any illegal drugs. I don't want you to have contact with her. If you don't have a Texas driver license, don't drive. If you don't have liability insurance with your name, don't drive. I'm asking you on every single one of those things, I'm asking you to follow the law. I'm asking you to be a nice and good person out there. That's all I'm asking.
Excuse me. Is he just-
Do not talk to the prosecutor.
I didn't know she was the prosecutor.
You don't talk to the prosecutor.
Thank you.
You need to talk to her. You just say THA, you're on the right.
Yep.
You need a hiring attorney, is what the judge is saying.
I can't, I don't work, so how can I?
One of your bond conditions is that you get a full-time job, Mr. This isn't up for negotiation. These are your bond conditions. I want you to become a productive member of society. That's it. So I'm going to have you now sign this affidavit promising us you're not going to drive. I will get you to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, I'll get you with pre-trial for your bond conditions, and then we'll see you in 30 days.
Okay. But I just want one more question. So when I come back to court, is this just for the drug test or just like the
Just make sure that you're in compliance for you to have a lawyer. And then in 40 days, I'm going to drug test you again. So don't smoke any more weed after today. Okay.
At Mayfield.
Hey,
Hey, Judge, how are you?
Hi.
You're on Chad Mayfield. He's in the box. Not sure why he's in the box.
we wanted to wait for you to get here to see what's going on with Mr. Mayfield.
But you said you got it, correct?
No, I said it's expired.
Sir, do not argue. You said it's
An expired license is no valid license.
All I need to go do is just go set a test and get my license.
So do that. When you do that, oh, hold on a second. I'll talk to him again in a second.
I'm not trying to argue with y'all.
Just take a seat.
Y'all ready for him?
Just lighter. Okay. Come up, Mr. Mayfield.
Is there a reason why?
Wanted to make sure that he just had got with you to make sure that you guys are on the same page. That's it. Because
He has a new case in the 208, but it was filed. The date of offense is prior to
these cases.
Yeah, I'm not taking him into custody.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that you understand that you're not allowed to consume alcohol or illegal drugs.
Yes, sir.
Randomly test you.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a Texas driver license?
Yes, sir.
Can you run his license, please? Do you have liability insurance in your name?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
As long as you do, then you're allowed to drive. If you don't have liability insurance,
I do.
not allowed to drive.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. We'll just make sure he signs the bond conditions.
Yes, sir.
It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Slider. Mr. Slider tells me that he can't get a hold of you because you're ducking and dodging. I'm going to issue a warrant.
Yes,
You've
sir.
already had 2 bonds and no more PR bonds.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
understand? Okay.
His driver's license is not eligible to run.
They're showing you don't have a license. Just because you have a physical copy doesn't mean that it's eligible with DPS. Is your license eligible?
Date of offense was on a DWI was it was June 16.
That's the reason.
Yeah, that's why.
Your license got suspended because of your administrative license revocation hearing. And I will let Michael tell you about that, but you're not allowed to drive. Yeah, that's why we look these up to make sure, because if you go out there and you drive and you get pulled over, you're going to go right back to jail. You violated your bond conditions here, and then both of these bonds are going to get revoked. So that's why it's better to be informed of everything now. So, you know, if you were able to get your license back, then I'll allow you to drive. But you're probably going to have to pay a reinstatement fee. You're going to have to go to DPS. There's a lot of things that you're going to have to do. Don't drive until you have it valid and you let us know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. We have to get you to meet with pretrial for your bond conditions. You just have to sign for them, and after that, you'll be free to go. Okay, guys. Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks, Mr. Slider.
Did you send the bond conditions? They want me to submit. Judge, you ready for the next one? And then like.
Yes, I.
Judge, what are we doing with this one?
She's normal resets, but he needs to re-sign bond conditions for no, it's a DWI.
So I'm here on the bond conditions for Mr. Leon.
We're looking at December 10th through the 12th.
December 10th to the 12th, Bill.
Give me 1 second. December 12th.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Hey, it's Mr. Muhuri. He represents someone here. Who's your client again?
Leon Callahan. Good morning, Judge. Good afternoon.
I think that's him, right? Yeah. We're just kind of holding and waiting for you. It's a DWI, right? So all we do, we just no drugs, no alcohol, random urinalysis. He doesn't have insurance now, so I told him not to drive until he gets insurance. Once he gets insurance, shows it to us that he has valid insurance, we'll allow him to drive. So, yes, yeah, absolutely. All right, Mr. Callahan, you can go with your lawyer. Make sure he signed the bond condition and get the reset though, please, because I don't know if he's done that. Okay.
This is Mr. Gracie, Your Honor. And it's GA or?
It's pronounced Rossa.
Okay.
So it should.
It's on the bond
probably be
docket, right?
GR. Yeah, it's on the bond document.
All right, good morning, Mr. Grasse. Sir, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. The reason that we took you into custody now is because you have an open felony warrant. Give me 1 second. Hold on, let me see. I don't even know what it is. Okay, so you have an open fraudulent use or possession of identifying information less than 5 items. Right now, it's an open warrant and there's no bond that's set, so I can't let you go. If I let you go now, not only would I get in trouble, but both of them would get in trouble as well. When you have an open felony warrant, we're not allowed to let you go.
Monday was the court case for that, and I came to court with my attorney. They told me that it was going to be thrown out for no probable cause, and I was free to go, and they would send it to the grand jury, and the grand jury would issue a warrant for my arrest. And at that time, I would possibly go through another case and get it.
He's right.
I understand that, but it actually has it down as a failure to appear on the 7th, and it was verified as a good warrant. Yes.
My attorney was with me as well.
So I don't even have a listed attorney here. Who is it?
C.L. Swisher.
I don't know if I have. I don't know.
So I want to say it's out of the 178th.
It's
Oh, 248.
Yes, sir.
The 178, I can call him.
Yeah.
And I believe this other gentleman.
So I'll let you, when we take you back there, I'll let you, do you have her phone number? I'll let you make a phone call to her to see what can happen. But when there's a felony warrant, I can't let you go. I see that they found no probable cause, and I don't understand why the warrant is still active. I have no idea. Typically, when like a judge finds no probable cause, a judge still has to sign a motion to dismiss, and that would end the case. Here, I see.
Order in the court.
If the magistrate found no probable cause, but I don't see a dismissal, and that may be, I don't know. We'll let you reach out to Ms. Swisher, and then hopefully she can advise you of more. So we're going to do probable cause on this case. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you. Okay.
October 30th, 2024, officer observed a red Tesla Model S fail to stop for a stop sign at the intersection of the 5000 block of Holly Street and South Rice Avenue. Officer initiated a traffic stop and the vehicle quickly accelerated into the parking lot of Bel Air High School where the vehicle came to a park. The defendant exited the vehicle and began moving quickly toward the school. Officer tried to block the defendant's entry into the school to further conduct the traffic stop. The defendant was immediately uncooperative and repeatedly claimed he did not know what a traffic stop was. Officer asked for an ID multiple times, but the defendant kept saying he forgot his ID. The defendant stated he did not have a Texas driver's license, but had one from North Carolina. The defendant was placed into custody for traffic violations. The defendant's wallet was removed from his pocket and checked for an ID. Defendant's North Carolina ID was located in the wallet along with a social security card bearing his name and a second social security card with the same name, but with a different SSN. During an inventory of the vehicle, officer located in the center console a Glock 9mm semi-automatic pistol, which was reported stolen out of North Carolina. On the floorboard behind the driver's seat, officer located approximately 0.5 grams of marijuana. Later in the investigation, it was determined the defendant also does have a Texas driver's license.
Is it possible? Licenses from multiple states?
Not supposed to. You're supposed to surrender your out-of-state license when you get a Texas one.
You can't have multiple licenses.
It's after 90 days of residing in the current state, you have to dump the other license.
I thought it was 2 weeks.
No, it's 90 days.
90 days.
Did they change it?
Yeah, they must have, because when I moved here, the same thing happened. I saw a letter that told me I have 90 days to surrender. Yeah.
This is Mr. Grasset.
Is he on the docket, Judge?
Yeah.
Yes.
GRAI. What's weird is that it looks like the 248 found no probable cause, but there's still an open felony warrant. That
It looks like it was direct indicted 2 days ago, Judge.
I don't think I've ever seen it go that quick. Wow.
It looks like the prosecutor may have already had a grand jury day. They just said, I'll just add the case. Yeah.
That's
Pay
why.
attention to the judge, not the
Indicted.
computer.
Yes, sir.
That's why.
Could you explain that to
Judge,
me?
did you need me to?
Please. I'll have your lawyer explain it to you, okay? Because I got a bunch of people waiting. But it's a good warrant. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's a good warrant. I am going to find probable cause in our case here, okay? I want you to understand, do you have a Texas driver license? Okay, you're not allowed to drive. I'm making that a condition of your bond. Unless you have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, you're not allowed to drive. I'm going to have you sign an affidavit promising me you're not going to drive. I assume that you're going to get out, right? You have made bond in our case. As soon as Ms. Swisher gets up there, I'm sure they'll get you a bond and you'll be able to bond out in felony case, but don't just start driving. If you want to drive, go get a license, get liability insurance, come back to me, show me, and then I'll take the restriction off. The only other condition I'm going to put on you at this time is don't have any weapons, okay? As long as you can abide by these conditions, you'll be fine with me. I'm going to appoint you a lawyer now. If Ms. Swisher at a later time decides to sign on to the case, great, but we'll give you a lawyer for now, and then you can also explain what's going on to that lawyer now.
Am I still able to explain to Ms. Fisher?
Yes, yeah, I mean, we'll take him back now and I'll give you time to make a phone call, absolutely. Do you have any questions?
May I ask, why are you finding probable cause?
The gun is stolen.
Is
That's what. Alleged.
And may I ask one more question?
Sure.
You all said that it was moved to grand jury 2 days ago. Is that the time that the warrant was issued, or was the warrant issued following the court?
So what happens typically is as soon as a grand jury indicts a case, that it simultaneously issues a warrant at that time as well. So what they do is they'll typically have around at least 9 to 12 independent people listen to the facts of the case and decide whether there's enough probable cause. Just because one judge finds no probable cause, they can still take it to a grand jury and have it indicted. That's what they've done. And they do it to me too. Like, I'll find no probable cause in a case. If they disagree with it, they take it to a grand jury and still have it indicted. So just because I found no probable cause, that's not the end. Okay. Okay. All right. Good luck, Mr. Grasset. And well, can you file
No weapons and what else,
no
Judge?
weapons and no driving?
Judge.
Page 12, Johnson came back.
Yeah, no. THA. Look, hi, no, come. Hi. Hey, great to see you.
And you as well. Sorry for my attire.
It's been so long.
49 San Jacinto, so I
I'm so
dressed.
sorry.
I'm here on a case that has a warrant, 252
Hold on, hold on,
5791.
hold on. 252.
5791.
Alvarez.
Yes, Your Honor. And so I did not realize he had a warrant. We did get a pretrial intervention today on his felony matter. I've talked to the state there and to the chief here, and we have offers. I will stay on for the misdemeanor since this is.
So you're appointed on the felony.
I'm just trying to see if we could get a PR bond reinstated.
He here?
He's here. He's in the audience in the
Come up.
officer, Judge.
Is council gonna sign on to the case?
Yeah, she said she is.
Because I'm a glutton for punishment.
Well, it's a good deal.
Well, we have an offer that we can do, but he did want me to see if there was a possibility of his PR bond being reinstated. It looks like he missed court on September 5th.
Why?
He had COVID, Judge, and he had been emailing previously on his previous court date with Ramona St. Julian Saunier. That looks like she was
The
right.
problem is that it's not his first time taking off. You know, we always give someone a courtesy when they take off one time, then yeah, we you know, to be nice, so to speak. But when you do it multiple times, at that point, it's just not the same, you know.
Just so the court knows, it looks like it was August 30th was the first setting, and then he was still positive on September 5th and reached out to her again, but he didn't hear back from her. He didn't know what was going on. He didn't, admittedly, he probably should have followed up with it, but I am just asking if you would consider reinstating his PR bond. Right now, it looks like the bond is set at $2,501.
Yeah, he's lucky it's not at 5,002. That's what I normally do. What kind of conditions does he have upstairs?
He's gonna have to do supportive outpatient, no guns, no new cases, just a standard PTI.
And Judge, I got an email from Sharma from her court. She would have never given this defendant PTI. She had no idea there was another case attached to it. She said it's not a PTI
Brett's
case.
still doing it up there.
Yeah.
Yes.
She said she would have never given a PTI in this case.
She's so
She
great.
knew.
Well, and-
So that's why, I mean, I'm going to oppose a PR bond. I'd like the defendant to consider the state's
Let's do
offer.
this, Michael.
Yes, Judge.
I'm gonna load him up with conditions. I'm sending you now for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. You know, your PR bond depends on if you're clean or not. You know, if you're clean, great. If not, then I don't know. And then I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to put a whole host of conditions on him. I'm going to give you an ankle monitor now because we can't trust you to be here on your own. And I'm going to drug test you like crazy. The next time you test positive, I'm going to tell you now, I will hold you in contempt, slap you with 180 days, probate it for 2 years, and put you in a rehab facility.
Yes, sir.
Is that what we need to do?
Yes, sir.
This is your fourth case already in a matter of 4 months. Your first case was, well, I'm sorry, the case was filed in 23. You've had 2 dismissals in May of this year, and now you've picked up another 2 cases. You know, how many PTIs is dude gonna get? So I'm sending you for a drug test.
Yes, sir.
It's late in the day, so are you working tomorrow? You'll be here tomorrow?
Well, no, he'd be here Saturday.
Oh, crap.
Judge, you wanted to come in on Saturday.
Right, I'm a glutton for punishment. Let's do this. So I'll send him for a drug test right now. I'm also going to put an ankle monitor on him. Monday, are you going to be here?
I can be here, Judge, yes.
You can always Zoom. I have Zoom so that it makes it easier for you as well. That way you don't have to actually physically be here. You can always Zoom in as well. We have it so that it makes it easier. What are you doing nowadays with yourself?
I'm working with my pop, sir. I'm supposed to be at work right now.
Okay. I want you back on Monday.
Yes, sir.
Then we're going to figure out where we're going to go.
Yes, sir.
Putting an ankle monitor on you now.
Yes, sir.
Curfew. I don't want you out in the middle of the night.
No, sir.
So 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. is your curfew. So I could put him in jail, but I'm just going to load him up with a bunch of conditions, Michael, and we'll see. We'll give him the keys to the jail cell. No dope. I want to know what if in your system now. If I find anything in your system that shouldn't be there, I'm going to have you come here even more to drug test you like crazy.
Yes, sir. Understand.
No weapons, no drugs, no alcohol, random urinalysis. And I'll waive the fee on everything, so he doesn't have to pay for anything. But I'm not going to do this again. Third one, then your bond is going to be really, really high. I'm going to tell you that now.
Yes, sir.
Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Right, thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Right this way.
So I have to reinstate it for that. Are you sure you want to do this?
Yes, sir.
You realize that, I mean, this isn't like Target where you buy something, you don't like it, you could return it, right? Once you plead guilty, I mean, you waive the right to appeal. So that means once you plead guilty, you can never come back and take it off and say, you know what, I changed my mind, I had buyer's remorse. No, there's no buyer's remorse here. This is a lifetime decision. Once you plead, that's it.
Yes, sir.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
You must also be aware that this carries now a mandatory minimum of 90 days in jail. Anything you pick up from now on, it's in here, misdemeanor court, it's a minimum of 90 days in jail.
Understand.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
Is weapons going to be forfeit, I would imagine?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right. You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. We're doing what's essentially called time served. We're giving you credit for the time that you've served. You're walking out of here today. The bad part about it is that it'll end up on your record.
Yes, sir.
You know, the other option you may have is to do a probation where if you complete it successfully, it doesn't end up as a conviction on your record. But the problem is you got to stay clean for quite a bit of time. And if that's not a possibility,
No problem, but yes, sir.
Did you want to issue the care bond and then we can come back and have a recommendation? Bring up probation.
you can do whatever you want to do, you know?
I mean, we can approach the judge. I don't know what you require to come to you with an agreed recommendation. The state's offering time served. They're not willing to offer deferred at this point. No, Judge.
Because you also are charged with the felony, they're not offering the probation. They've offered the time served, and I don't know if they're going to allow them to go without an agreed rec, meaning allow me to punish you and then put you on probation. I don't know.
I can certainly chat with him briefly if that's something that if they're willing to do, we can.
It's a,
He's already going to be supervised by probation for his PTI on the felony. So yeah, it's just a matter of whether the state's willing to waive their right to allow us to come to you.
you like to do. You just want to get this over with?
Yes. No.
No, I believe him when he says he just wants to get this over with. Yes, I feel like that's kind of what he wants, but you want me to explore that option briefly? I'm still
Yes,
here.
please.
Okay. Maybe.
Would you be willing to go out without an agreed rec on the,
No, Judge, not for this defendant. He's got a very serious juvenile ag assault SPI case and multiple PTIs. I'm not willing to do anything but attach to it.
well, I don't see all these things. What happened with that?
He got a probation.
Is he still on probation for that?
No, Judge, but he's gotten scot-free on every criminal case that he's ever gotten, and he needs to answer for something today.
Do you see what's going on?
Yes, sir.
The more cases you pick up, the worse it gets. And the problem is that when you start picking up cases, you know, when you're juvenile, when you turn an adult, for all intents and purposes, it's basically sealed, right?
Yes, sir.
Public is not gonna 9 times out of 10 be able to see it, but now you're an adult. The more cases you pick up, the more unemployable you get. The older you get, the bigger, fatter, uglier, hairier, you lose hair. Just life doesn't get easier. Life gets more difficult the older you get. And the more convictions you get, the more unemployable you become because employers don't want people with a ton of stuff on their record.
Yes, sir.
If you don't believe me, walk out there and ask everyone out there. It's not. All right. You're giving up a lot of rights by entering this agreement today. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal once you accept this agreement. You can never change this.
Sir, I
You
understand.
understand?
Sir.
Your only other option at this point is to set up a trial. So this is what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How do you plead to the offense, sir?
Guilty.
I will find you guilty. I will sentence you to 3 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 12 you've done. The weapon will be forfeited, so you're not going to get it back.
Understand.
Stuff the right way.
Yes, sir.
And Your Honor, I would
Thank you.
ask if the court calls tomorrow
Yes,
concurrently. Thank you. Judge.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. All right. Good luck, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in and helping. Anna.
I'm approaching on Buffler. She's on today's docket.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're gonna give her any bond conditions.
I said just no contact with the complaining
Okay, and,
witnesses and no going back to that subway.
okay, I don't think that'll be a problem. That just Victoria told me to approach, so.
Oh, I think she signed all conditions. Buffler? Yeah, she should be. Buffler, come up. It's top of page 7. Do you have your bond conditions? Do you have a copy of your bond conditions?
Oh, she signed it to you? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, she signed it with you. Okay, she did it with pretrial, I guess.
No, she did everything too. I gave her a copy.
Okay, well, no harm, no foul.
She's all set. Okay, so we have the state's motion for bond conditions.
But it says deletion, that's why I'm saying. There were people that.
I mean, are we the blind leading the blind or what? Yeesh,
I just,
right?
Something's wrong with the system, not taking the system.
Oh, the system.
It is,
Yeah.
if you look at it, this is.
regardless of who's telling her she's not gonna have any contact with the CW, which is.
Okay. I understand. Yeah. All right, guys. Good luck.
Thank you. Maybe the excuse.
Oh, thanks. Well, thanks. Not everybody does. Thanks. Come on, Mr. Mann.
Judge, on this one, yesterday I had zoomed in and got the court's permission for us to have this setting on Monday because
Oh, that's right. I remember.
I'm at the CLE and I'm about to run back in.
Oh, that's right. We had rolled this over to, hey, we had rolled this to Monday because he couldn't be here. Cedillo couldn't be here. That's why. On Mr. Mann. That's right. No, I remember that. No. I guess you were you supposed to email Victoria?
I did, Judge, yesterday.
She didn't get one.
I have been having it through my emails, Judge. I apologize. I showed up this morning to try and reconfirm it, but
Well, look, let's finish this real quick because I mean, and we'll get you out of here. All I have is, huh?
Okay.
Mr. Mann has bond violations. Am I right?
Yes, Judge, but given the nature of the bond violation, I very much wanted to be there to speak to him and speak to the court.
He tested positive for methamphetamine, John.
Yes, Judge, that's why I would like to be there to address it.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm not letting him go. He tested positive for meth. His case is 1,300 days old. Am I right?
Yes, Judge, I believe so.
No, I'm sorry. You know, as much as I love you, John, I mean, he's testing positive for meth. You know, it's 1,341 days old. We give you multiple chances, and now you're testing positive for meth. And no,
Sir,
I'm sorry.
I can't even explain that to say. I just came to court, my bills long and told me I had to come, and I didn't want to play with you at all.
Look, I don't want you to say anything without your lawyer being present. You know, I can have him reach out to you in the back if you know, we can always roll it to Monday too, and we can talk about it then. But I mean, when do we say when, Mr. Mann? You know?
Yes, I hear you, sir. I understand everything that's coming out your mouth, sir. I understand. I don't have an explanation for you.
John,
can we keep him on for Monday, Judge?
Absolutely, of course.
I understand the revocation, Your Honor, but if I can address it Monday.
Absolutely. We'll talk Monday then.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it.
Okay, bud. All right. Thank you for coming.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.